G'day mates, in today's video I want to kick off talking about whatever is going on with DreamHack right now, why we have pros being stream sniped and L danced on in real life at a LAN event, why we have players not getting queued into their last games, DreamHack just saying their games have been voided, so when they thought they qualified they now don't qualify, accusations of teams that are teaming, whole bunch of craziness going on at DreamHack. I want to cover everything as well as who qualified into the finals because we have a $100,000 final event taking place today and almost no one's talking about it. I also want to talk about what's going on with the late game cups, why are they removed from competitive, and does this mean we have late game being cancelled for this season? Also want to talk about some of the new duos. We got to see some crazy performances from brand new duos like Dukes and Acorn today. We got to see EU go crazy with Malibuka, Mustache splitting up Tayson and Chapix. Whole bunch of craziness going on there. There's a lot to talk about. Let's just jump into it. To kick off this video, we have to talk about DreamHack Atlanta. What is going on? This has been one of the weirdest and craziest tournaments I have ever seen. From pros just randomly having their games no longer count, to the tournament just being cut off by half an hour so pros didn't get their last queue, to having Oliver OG stream sniped in game and then L danced on in real life. Yes, you heard that correctly. We've also had teams blatantly teaming. I say teams, even though it's a solo event. We have had players just straight up using each other's pads, smacking on walls together, no attempt to hide the fact they're teaming, and apparently they're not even supposed to be playing the tournament, they're playing from home. So it has been an absolute ridiculous tournament. Let's dive into all of it. Kicking off with the Oliver OG clip, because this just pretty much summarizes the event perfectly.
Oh my gosh, I just fully whiffed, bro. I should get next queue, bro. He's coming over here, dude. Let's go, bro. I just fully whiffed, man. He's coming over here. Oh, man. You're not real, bro. I'm not fist bumping you, bro. I'm not fist bumping. Something's actually wrong with this kid.
Now, let's ignore the fact OG should have won that fight. He knows it too, but this kid had been stream sniping him all game, chasing around the map, so I imagine he just got frustrated and misplayed. But then the kid screams in real life, gets up, comes over, and L dances on him. Nothing sums up this event better than that. I shouldn't be laughing, and I honestly think Oliver OG, having played with Jeff and Peterbot for a couple seasons now, prepared him to have the patience in that moment not to do the things that a lot of people would have done. That I just don't understand what's going on. So we have that happening. We also have clips like this where Jivy was going into one of his last games to qualify for finals. Remember, this is a $100,000 tournament he's trying to qualify for, and this happens to it. Just absolutely no attempt to even hide that you are blatantly teaming, and apparently these players were playing from home. They weren't even supposed to get the code, and that's kind of what goes into what's gone wrong with this. Now, I love DreamHack. I've worked with DreamHack in the past. They were amazing about flying me out to the Dallas and the last Sweden Jönköping tournament. It was amazing. The Sweden tournament obviously was phenomenal. We had Kami and Seti coming right down to the very end, 1 point the difference. Everyone loved it. So what went wrong? Why is this tournament different? It's because it's not in the compete tab. For whatever reason, I don't know whether it's DreamHack's end or whether it's on Fortnite's end, this tournament is running just like a custom tournament that I would run. It's just they're using War Legends and Unite to give out the code. Some people leaking the code. Because it's not in the compete tab, they can't have people versing each other consistently, so they just have to do a custom matchmaking code every, like, I think 15 minutes is what they're doing. You have a max of 10 games, but if you miss that code, you get really messed up. Some of the days they just cut off the code half an hour early, so I don't think DreamHack's completely without about blaming all of this, but if it was in the compete tab, none of this would be happening. It would be running so much better. Everyone would know it's on. You could see the leaderboards, you could watch the replays. It's just really unfortunate to see, for whatever reason, two $100,000 tournaments, because there is today and there is also next weekend in Sweden, $200,000 of tournaments that are kind of going to waste. Finals is going to be taking place today as of me making this video. It is going to be excellent. I think finals will be good. It's 6 matches. It's custom matchmaking. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. It's much easier to do custom matchmaking in finals. Yes, the servers will unfortunately be a little bit laggier than if they're in the compete tab. Yes, it means it's harder to watch replays, but finals won't be as bad as opens. But I really hope someone has watched what's happened this weekend and has some way of getting the next tournament in Sweden to be in the compete tab, because we have so many top tier pros who've flown out for this. We have so many other pros and just casuals who've spent their hard-earned money going to this event, and it feels like a bit of a joke right now. I'm still going to talk about who qualified. I still want to get excited for the finals. I still want to see who the best solo player is at this event, but when you see stuff like this happening, you can't help but think it doesn't matter as much, and it shouldn't. DreamHack should be one of the crowning jewels of Fortnite competitive. Think about the big moments when we had Mr. Savage win his first major event in person, holding the trophy, that Kami vs. Seti moment. DreamHack has created some exceptional moments, whether it be online or in person, and it's not a small amount of money. I want to see this taken as an example to make DreamHack better in the future, because we really should be looking forward to these DreamHacks and celebrating them as major events, because with $100,000 on the line, they are major events. If you guys want to see every single pro who qualified, in the description down below, I'll post the War Legends leaderboard. You just have to go to all 4 heats and look at the top 25. But we have some big names. We have Seti, we have Kanata, D-Roller, Cease, Pamstu, Pink, Jampa, we have Mr. Savage, we have Paper. We have some incredibly big names from EU and NA East in the finals. So I really do think the finals is worth watching. If you're seeing this video and you want to come check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/AussieEndings, I will already have done a viewing party of it, or I will be currently doing a viewing party. If you want to come check out and see how the games go, it should be a fun time. I'm hoping there's no issues in the finals. Before I get into talking about some of the new duos and what's going on with the Elite Cup, because we had a pretty insane Elite Cup finals today, I've got to talk about the bad news. I'm going to finish off with the good news. So I'm going to put this in the middle of the video. It looks like late game cups are gone. They're now removed from the compete tab. We have had an absolute entire season now of just late game being delayed, canceled, pushed back, promises being made, bringing it back, not working, delayed. It looks like Fortnite has just called it quits and they have removed late game from the compete tab, which means I'm pretty sure we are not going to get late game arena. We are not going to get late game tournaments until chapter 4. And then they're probably going to have to remake the game mode to make sure it works on the new map. Unfortunately, late game cups have been a bit of a disaster. I can just imagine how much better this season would have been having a solo and trio late game cup every single week with late game quick cups to play for a bit of fun as well. Then late game arena to grind in between. It just would have been so good. I don't know what's going wrong with this game mode. I don't know why Epic is struggling so much with it, but it is very unfortunate that I do have to announce that it looks like it's gone. They could maybe add it next week. They could add it later. I just don't see why they would take the tournaments out of the compete tab again after delaying it for what is about the 4th or 5th time. Unless it meant it's gone for good. We have less than 2 weeks until the new chapter. I think they're just calling it quits. It didn't work, and I really hope that means we are going to get it in chapter 4 though, because it would be a massive addition to the game and specifically competitive. Now, let's talk about the Elite Cup Finals. This is the last major in-game build tournament of Chapter 3. We have no more in-game tournaments as far as building goes for the rest of this season. So, again, a lot of people are freaking out. Oh my god, look at the new duos. Did Tayson and Chapik split? Mustache Malabuka split? Clicks and Dukes? What's going on? Well, we got to see some insane performances today from some very unlikely teams and some that I was kind of expecting. I'm not focusing too much on this as new duos because most likely we are not going to have duos as the competitive game mode next chapter. So most of these pros I think are just playing together for a bit of fun, but it does give us a little bit of insight if potentially we get trios as the game mode, who's going to trio together. And it was still interesting to see, you know, who was holding who back. Like a lot of storylines we're seeing develop now because we've had some insane pop-offs from teams today. Meanwhile, the people they split with didn't do so well, but I do think that's a bit disrespectful because again, like I said, a lot of teams aren't trying as hard, just having some fun. So it's not as easy to say, or because Acorn and Dukes got over 400 points case, that means Clix and Edgy were holding them back. I'm not trying to say that, but it does mean if we get trios, are we going to see Dukes, Acorn with, I don't know, maybe someone like Booga? Booga has been talking about who he's going to play with for trios. There's a lot going on. So let's talk about some of the big performances. On EU, we had Chapix and Zandy walk away in first on 347 points, winning 3 of their 6 games. They played ridiculously well. And this is already a team we've seen in the past. They played in plenty of tournaments before. We knew they were going to be insane. And honestly, I do have a feeling that next season, if it's trios, Chapix and Tayson will not play together, but you never know. Then we had Refsguard and Clown, which is the team we already know about, Cheatin and Typo. Then we had Mustache and Tayson coming in fourth. Again, another brand new team. Vico Marion we already knew about, and Nas and Malabuka. So it's interesting to see Malabuka and Mustache both in the top 6, and Tayson and Chapix both in the top 4, even with brand new teammates. Then we had PKR Mappy, a team we already know, Relvis and Blaha, Canox and CZR, Zhu and Ryzen. There was a couple other crazier teams we saw as well. We did see, obviously, Vino and Thomas HD. They've been playing together the last couple days, looking absolutely insane in opens. Unfortunately, in finals today, they did struggle a little bit more, but I don't know how seriously they were taking it. It did look like they were just having a bit of fun. I have honestly never seen Vino look like he's having so much fun playing Fortnite. Then you move over to NA East, and like I just touched on, we had Dukes and Acorn absolutely decimate 436 points, getting an 8 elim win, 9 elim win, 5 elim third, 5 elim 12th, 8 elim third, and 1 elim 11th. They won by over 100 points over the other new duo, Peterbot and Booga. Then we had Polo Mason, Edgy and Polarized, Yomzo and Rise, Cold and Scented, Jamper and Paper, Miro and Chimp, Tragix and Chewy, and Marion and Paco. So we kind of got to see some of those new teams and how they're looking, and some of them are looking disgusting. It gives us a bit of an idea into trios, but whenever we get the next game mode announced, and I'm guessing it's probably going to be in Chapter 4, hopefully within the first week or 2, I'm expecting we're not going to get a preseason because we've never gotten a preseason for a new chapter. Hopefully they kick off some cash cups pretty quickly like they did with this season, so we at least have some tournaments before Christmas, and I'm guessing when they put those tournaments in the game, we'll very quickly know the game mode. So once that game mode gets announced and all the teams start picking their teammates, unless it's solos of course, I will 100% make a video breaking down all the teams, what I think of them, how they're looking, any histories, all that kind of stuff. But I don't see the reason to do a whole video on it now when we don't even know what the next game mode is. You guys know the deal. If you made it this far, you clearly liked it. Please chuck a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.